my name is Oliver. Most people call me the coach. I got with me my good friend here, Precise. That's his business name. Most people call him Paul. Some people call him Precise. But at the end of the day, you might want to call him the business therapist. Precise, appreciate you coming out.
Man, happy to be here.
Oh, yeah. You know, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is you've been working with me since '03. You know we've been doing this for that long?
Yeah, man, it's been a while now. 20 years, actually.
20 years. And here's one of the things, when I was getting out of the military, I kind of met you because I was in real estate and coming out of Fort McPherson, which that base is closed now in the Atlanta, Georgia area. I wanted to create a real estate empire, so to speak. The good news is 20 years later, we actually created this real estate empire.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of folks out there get into real estate, but I've been doing this since the year 1991.
Wow.
So let's go ahead and fast forward and talk about service members utilizing their skill sets that they might have learned in the military, serving abroad, serving locally, and how some of those gifts, talents, and ability can be used to make money. Are you familiar in any way, shape, form, or fashion with military?
Look, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Cousin of mine, I won't say his name, he just joined the military.
Okay.
Last year at 39.
Okay.
He said the new cutoff age is 40.
Okay.
So
That's different.
He just joined the Navy. Spoke to him the other day. Now, always been a nice guy. Went to Morehouse. Didn't graduate. He was in real estate too. He was trying to do property management and all of that. And you know, life hasn't worked out according to his plan. So he decided, because we have two other cousins that are in the military.
Okay.
He decided to go ahead and go that route. And you know, a lot of people take that route when regular life doesn't go according to plan.
That's true.
At 39, I would assume that the clock was ticking. And so my question for you is,
I'm listening.
He told me his job, and he basically helps with some type of laser guiding something on the ship. And I was thinking, I was like, will that job translate when he gets out? Because I don't think he plans on being a lifer, right? And at 40, going in at 40, if you did 20 years to get out at 60, I don't know if that's his plan. And so it just had me thinking about different people that I know who've joined the military, who developed a particular skill set doing something having to do with war. Right?
That's true. When you talk war, most people think military and they equate it to war.
Right.
So at 40, I'm assuming you're asking, how will he be able to, one, survive in that environment?
Right.
Because it's fast paced. And then secondly, if he develops some skill sets while serving, how could he, since he's in a later guided missile type of regiment in the Navy, how will he be able to come back here? The good news is that he passed the test to go in.
Okay.
Secondly, he had to pass the physical aspect of it. So that kind of age composition kind of gets dissipated when he goes that way. So the first thing he's already developed is the discipline of getting up in the morning.
Okay.
The discipline of showing up for that particular job. And now they send him to what they call advanced individual training school, which allowed him to focus on lasers. So if you look at lasers from a possibility of electronics and look at it from an aspect of even warfare, his knowledge base that he's learned in that short period of time in the military kind of supersedes what he could have learned on a regular job already. Because in the military, there's a lot of cloak and dagger things, which means they're experimenting with technology of the future that could be usable now, whereby what we call civilians, which is outside of the frame of the military, civilians may not even begin to embark on that technology for 5, 7, 10 years later. So we're going to congratulate him for, it's never too late to search a dream, try to satisfy that dream, and become the best that you can become. So that's the main thing. So regardless to his past, he has a bright future. And I'm gonna tell those who are out here listening to this video and this audio set here, is that when a person places their mind to do something, and they give their heart and they commit themselves to it, there's nothing that can stop them. I know rappers says the new 40 is the new 30 or 30 is the new 40. In the military, you're kind of like around a tribe of professionals that can hold a standard above the norm. So I'm going to congratulate your family right off the bat for doing that.
Question, right?
Go ahead.
Are you saying that it's not the specific skill set that you learn, but it's all of the mental tools like being on time and being aggressive. That is the part that translates.
The translating on the tools, the technology piece, he's going to be ahead of the curve. Okay. So in other words, he get out, for example, 4 years later out of the military, there's going to be job sets that's out there that's looking specifically, especially in the federal government. A lot of military jobs convert to contracting jobs on the federal level. Okay. So there's a lot of protection there. Now, I think the difference may be as we look at the concept of entrepreneur. How could he take that skill set and plug it into an entrepreneur type business that may give him a yield of revenue that's not normal? Okay. And the key to it is contracting our entrepreneurs. You can own your own business outside of the military once you transition and be able to take that job set and then charge the government. God only knows the type of money contractors choose or assess to the government for doing the same like job.
Question.
Go ahead.
Let me push back just a little bit.
Push it.
So you know the general difference between a 9-to-5er and an entrepreneur is most entrepreneurs have to be self-driven.
Gotcha.
Right? And 9-to-5ers, you know, the man kind of cracks the whip and makes you do what you're supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. I've never been in the military. I would look at the military as the man on steroids.
Yeah, it's no 9-to-5.
In terms of stepping on your neck to make you do what you do. So how would that person be able to become an entrepreneur and now have to get up 5 a.m. on their own and how to now operate on their own without having the sergeant or the general or whoever it is? I don't know. I don't even know the titles, right?
Yeah, okay.
Having those people force them to do what they're supposed to do.
Habits. So the key to it is these incarnated habits that we develop in service members early on, they actually remember them when they're older. Okay. So for example, if you see a service member, and I know we're just coming out of the aspect of Memorial Day and we respect those who sacrifice the ultimate price for our country and for our nation. A lot of these veterans that retired or got out of the military, you can put them in a simple situation and they remember it. They can recall that information because of the habit. For example, a simple aspect of calling a older service member that got out 20, 30 years to attention. If you pretty much give them a preparatory command and a command of execution, they can go right to it. Okay. So how do they equate to entrepreneurism? Well, normally once you make it past the entry level of military, you go into the aspect of supervisory aspect of military. And those individuals doesn't need as much motivation. It's that first, second year of a service member life where there's heavy oversight and heavy supervision. But when you get past that third year, it's more like, okay, now that job or that routine or that responsibility becomes a part of who you are. So when you talk 9-to-5, most service members, they do more before 9 than most people do all day. So they understand partitioning a work day. That was a commercial, right? Hey, that used to be a commercial back in the day. So, but that habit continues. Now, once they get out, and they're compensated for maybe jobs that they've done, meaning retirement. They may choose to say, you know what, I've done more in my life than most people can ever imagine, so I'm just going to chill out. I'm not looking for no responsibility. I'm not looking to save the world on the other side of the globe. So these individuals, if they choose to do that, they're already positioned to be able to utilize those skill sets.
But what about somebody who only does the 4 years?
They still have the capability of going further because they still in 4 years learn more than, and I don't want to get into the financial aspect of a Bank of America person or a person that's a contractor. They've probably done so many jobs in that short period of time because in order to be a well-rounded soldier, you have to adapt to different circumstances and situations. So that individual that did 4 years are probably the type of individual you're looking to hire almost immediately because you know they have what it takes to succeed. All they need now is to get on the right platform.
Question.
Go ahead.
I've never been in the military.
But the haircuts look like you've been in the military. The beard does not look like, but go ahead.
But do you choose your job in there or they choose it for you?
You know what? We've evolved. the individual that takes the test, what you call an ASVAB, right? Takes a test.
An assessment.
It's an assessment test.
Okay.
You know, and that individual, based upon their scores, get to choose from a catalog of different jobs that the military may need them to be in.
Okay, so they give you like
Yes,
a category
you get to
that fits your skill set.
You get to choose.
So it's not like 1 or 2, it's like 10 or more.
It's more like hundreds to choose from. It's never that narrow. And I say hundreds could almost be thousands, because there's never enough jobs to place, because the world changes so fast.
And you can't choose a job that's not in your skill set.
If your skill set say that you're a carpenter, then that's what it is.
No, that's important.
If you have electronics and a mathematics basis or an intelligence basis, we try to put you in those environments.
Okay, dog is barking.
The dog is barking. So you can tell we're in the studio, but the studio's at the home. So we don't want to disrupt you. We'll give the dog another 30 seconds as we close this out.
Okay.
Since you're non-military, but you're doing really well asking these questions.
Oh yeah, I mean, these are questions that's always been on my mind. Like, I think that's beneficial, because for regular civilians, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people are working in jobs and in fields that they have no business working in, because they have so much choice, and they could be moving in a totally wrong direction. Mm-hmm. I've seen and I've consulted a lot of those people. Mm-hmm. And so by having it where you choose between jobs that fit your skill set, puts you more in a position to win than otherwise.
And if you want to extend your time in the military, it's all contractually based. Okay. So a person can pivot.
Okay.
They could be doing this job and say, you know what, this is not what I'm suited to do, even though my skills allow me to do. I can still go back into, for example, electronics, and look at other different jobs that I might enjoy.
Okay.
And then they might match that up with a location that you might want to experience.
And then can you learn a different skill set?
Yes, sir. They can take you. Well, they like to send you to school. See, the government prints money.
Okay.
So they don't have a problem with spending money to make sure you're the best of the best. Unlike maybe a regular job that's you know what, we only have a budget of this amount of money for training. In this aspect of the military, when they set you forth on that path, they want you to get the best training. Okay. And a lot of that training are with civilian corporations. Okay. They can send you to AT&T and learn how their systems work to support what we do in the military.
Okay. Cool, man. That's a lot of information right there.
A lot of information in the shortest period of time. It's called Talk Your Truth Thursdays. Okay. And we didn't say that in the beginning. On Thursday, we're looking at the capability or the possibility of getting some interviews with individuals that maybe have a passion for something, and allow them just to talk their truth. And today, I appreciate you being here and allowing me to talk my truth about something I did years ago, but still resonates with me today, which is military.
So it's made a difference in your life.
Listen, coming out of Philadelphia at the age of 18, I retired after 23 years of service. Okay. But if it was not for that opportunity to travel the world, meet people, I kind of quasi speak 7 different languages. Okay. So don't tell nobody. Okay. Because I'm going to act like I speak no English anytime you ask me. But I'm hearing everything. So at the end of the day, yes, military is a great start. It ain't for everyone. However,
I was going to ask you that.
No, it's not for everyone. But if you have a young adult, 40 is different. 39, 40 is different. But let's say, for example, you just got out of school.
No, I have a nephew.
Go ahead.
He's 19 right now, going on 20.
Good.
He might be 20 by now, but he's in college right now. But you know, college is difficult for him. He's an athlete, super athletic.
Gotcha.
But you know, the educational part is kind of hard for him. Now, my mother contacted me like, "Hey, you need to talk to him about joining the military."
Okay.
You know, I haven't had the conversation yet, but in my mind, I'm like, he probably would do well in the military. How do you have a conversation with somebody or suggest it? Like, how does that whole thing even come up in the first place? Like, what skill set or what kind of human being is right for the military?
A person that desires to grow is the right mindset person, especially between 18 and 22. Okay. If they're figuring things out, they can burn off 4 years and still don't have it figured out. Right. Picking up side jobs, hustling, doing things that they don't want to do. And next thing you know, they're aging, they're maturing. why not give the military an opportunity? If you have skills, the military are looking for you as well. If you don't have skills, they will give you the skill sets that you need to make some decisions at the early aspect of life, 22 to 25. So the first conversation would be, can you test out? Let's get for the highest score. Second aspect is where you want to be. Now there's 4 branches, and some others say 5 branches of service they can choose from. You got the Air Force, Army, Navy, Marines, and then you have the Coast Guard. Do you want to do this part-time, or do you want to be full-time? I always advocate, if you are young and it's okay, you're familiar with your family, you have some form of support, go somewhere. Go travel the world young so you can see some things. I did that. It got me out of those mean streets of Philadelphia, and God only knows what that would have led to on the path that I was in. I'm not saying folks from Philadelphia are in trouble. That was my path, and that's why I have the book here, Power to Live Through Obstacles, and it details a little bit about what I went through growing up in Philadelphia. So yes, if that person have no other person, since I know you, I would be happy. It would be my honor to talk to him about things about the military.
You should be a recruiter.
No. You know, once a service member, you're always recruiting because it's opportunities. Opportunities. Who would have known I would have retired my first life at 42 years old and get checks for the rest of my life? I know they changed that, but they have great saving plans, 401 plans to help people prepare. And doing a regular job, most people don't have health care. They don't have dental. They don't have any of those things. And all of those things will be taken care of for you when we used to call a guy Uncle Sam. And you know, it ain't for everybody. However, you can sample it. Give it 3 years and see what happens.
Okay. Sounds like an idea.
I know we got to wrap this up. Notice that the dog kind of quiet down.
Yeah.
Now, some of you out here have pets and you're pet lovers like myself. It's hard to muzzle a pet, especially in the household that they live in. But at the end of the day, we're just regular people having truth conversations on a Thursday. And we're speaking that. So Precise, how can they reach you?
Oh, man. So I'm everywhere. But if you type in my name, Precise, Presise, you can find me online on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snapchat, Twitter, everywhere. And go to my website, Precise, Presise.biz to sign up for my coaching master course.
Awesome.
Yes.
And I tell you, he's been like a mentor to me, and he calls me his mentor. And I tell you, he's been a mentor to me. It's those steps that you need to take. And of course, I'm Oliver. Most people call me the coach. You can reach me at my website, oliveradams.com, or on social media, Oliver Adams Coach or Coach Oliver Adams. They kind of toggle back and forth. You'll be able to reach out to me. Now, listen, I'm new to this. I've got tons of content because I've been teaching and training in the space of real estate for years. And this guy's been trying to tell me to get off the fence for years, because when he go into my system there and he see all the places I travel and the rooms being packed, he said, why are you not sharing this with the world? I said, you know what? I'm one of those older type of individuals, like, don't put all your business out in the street, but I think we need to change that.
We will.
Yes, sir. Yes,
absolutely.
Sir. Appreciate you dialing in, chiming in, and next week we'll come at you with some new content on Talk Your Truth Thursday.
All right. Peace.
Peace.